That is my joint.
That is my joint.
And you don't have stuff.
That's don't know nothing about 100 miles of road.
Nah, they didn't let him listen to it when he was growing up. That was on the band list in Banks' house. He wasn't allowed.
Yeah,
he wasn't allowed.
Shut down on NWA, son.
Yeah, that's all right. But you know what? We got to give him a little bit of love, Big Road.
Who?
Carl Banks.
For what?
Yeah, you're right. You know, that's Steppin Marcus J. I want to thank Lady D of the NYPD for coming in and doing that last segment. We agreed to disagree without being disagreeable, but I think we were able to both sides make our points and kind of share and build. And obviously, without doing that, there's no way that we could, have any kind of understanding with each other, fellas. Would you agree, disagree, Miss Renee?
Yep.
Just me.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
let me say this. And one thing I wanted to talk about, it went by so fast, and people had their repressed comeback issues from 1995. I wanted to say this. The term black on black crime is not something we use in our everyday life. That's a media term that, portray black on black crime. It happens everywhere, but again, the media wanted to bring that to the forefront and make it seem like blacks are the only ones who are doing this kind of thing. No, it's multicultural. So the term black on black crime is media related, and they want to do it. And like Marcus said, it was just in poor taste of them using the monkey after Miss Gabby did her routine and everything. Hey, media does what the media can. They trying to make numbers, trying to sell money. I mean, not sell money, but sell their say-so, and hey, they step on some toes. If I do recall correctly, on YouTube, there is a recant from NBC apologizing for the poor taste of the scenario.
I guess your boy Marcus J and his conspiracy theories must have been on to something then.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
Then why would they
I'm not going to say
Why
that.
would they
I'm not
recant
gonna say
that?
Why would
They're
you-
recanting from the insensitive nature.
That's
that
all I
they portray.
said. That's all I said.
Okay, hold on. I'm just again.
The issue they recanted it,
okay.
then they were guilty.
They recanted and apologized. More so, the time slot was allotted for because I paid for it.
That's
Right,
the
but what-
issue.
what-
I have a
Guilt.
contract.
All right, but let me ask you
We
this.
want to have some
All right,
commercials
but
with. Hold on, let me finish.
Because I just want
because
because we don't have a lot of time, so
Right.
I don't want to take a lot of time. So let me just ask you a specific question,
Okay.
so we can move on to the rants. What very quickly was the reason that they recanted or apologized? What was the specific reason?
I can't really quote it. I put it up on the Facebook page
Okay.
so everybody can see it there.
Okay.
But they did go back and apologize for the
And
scenario.
and my only point was it was insensitive. Let's go ahead and close out the show. I want to first do that by thanking DJ Renee Melendez of Jersey City for coming in the studio with us to do the show. It was fun. Appreciate it. It was good to see you. It's been many years since we had an opportunity to lay eyes
you
on
for
each other.
having
So
me.
I appreciate it. We'll give you an opportunity to
You
kind
ain't
of
coming back.
Oh, here you go.
She's welcome.
Thanks,
anytime.
ain't nobody.
Go ahead
wanna see her come
and
back.
I want to go ahead and kind of end the show by letting you make your final statement, if that's what we're gonna call it, your rant or
My rant? Oh,
yeah,
you
whatever.
go first?
You get to go first.
Ladies
It's
first?
ladies first.
Oh, thank you so kindly. I think my rant tonight is teenagers in the sense of entitlement. Because I have a 15-year-old son at home. I love him to pieces. But I really don't understand why he does not feel he needs to work for things and earn things. I'm not the Bank of Renee. I don't finance your ventures out to the mall and to the movie theaters. You must earn that money. And I think most parents would agree with that statement. I don't know if anyone else in the room has teenagers. Nope.
Nah,
Oh, you
I
guys
ain't
aren't there yet?
I ain't there yet.
oldest
Oh
is-
my God! Just wait.
I ain't got no kids.
I tell mine now, where your money?
Oh,
And he's 7.
Just wait, because it gets worse when they want those $150 Jordans, and they expect you to come right out of pocket, and they look at you with the mean mugging face because you tell them no, cut the lawn or clean your room or whatever. So I think that's my rant for tonight, and I'm sure all the parents out there can relate to my plight.
Tell us one more time how we can get at you.
You guys can all get at me. I'm DJ Renee Melendez. You can find me on Facebook. I also have a Mixcloud site. If you Google my name, you will definitely find me. You can join my page. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, and I hope give you some good music to listen to.
All right, Big Rube. We're gonna get into your moment that we affectionately like to call the smash.
It's Big Rube. It's a smash. Let's get it done. You know, a lot of people realize a couple different things, but I think this weekend for me, it showed me that there is some love and respect in the world, and what better place to show that is in the Olympics. As you know, you had a gentleman named Oscar Pistorius who didn't have any legs beneath his knees. At 11 months old, they were taken from him because of a disease. However, he worked hard and he ran in the Olympics. His goal was to get in the semifinals of the 400, and he did that. And I watched that, and it was just so impressive that someone who literally had their lives taken from them at the age of 11 months old took it back. And he is a person that people need to look up to. You can do it. If you have your full body and limbs and you say you can't do anything, that's your fault. Because this gentleman obviously did something. But the one thing that really got to me was at the end of the race, one of the other racers, his name I believe was Karani James, asked him to trade name jerseys with him. And for those of you who are not in sports, that is a sign of ultimate respect, to take either your name tag or even your jersey and trade it with another person. And he did it because he respected him and his journey so much. And he actually said, I look up to him because if he can do it, I know I can do whatever I need to do. Also, later on that night, Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, was given an interview. He heard the American music of the American winner, the American sprinter from earlier, who had won her gold medal. In the middle of his interview, he said, stop. Turned around because there was a medal ceremony. Stopped, listened to the music, and then went back to his interview. Another sign of ultimate respect to another competitor. And my thing is to you is this: if these people can respect these people, and let's just be honest, they probably didn't really know them until last week. We can't even respect our family, our friends, and people who are closest to us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't respect the people who you love, we already have a problem. So you need to fix it. Not to mention respect people who you don't know. This is Big Rube. It's a smash. See you next week.
All right, Big Rube. Appreciate that, man. That was on point. And I could see the vein popping up in your head. I like when we get Big Rube all fired up and passionate. That was good, man. Carlton Banks, it's not unusual, brother.
You know what? I'm going to keep on the Olympic theme that Ruben brought up, because I got some questions to ask. I'm looking at some of these events, looking at water polo, badminton, whitewater rafting. I just want to know one thing. Where the heck were the tryouts for some of these things? I mean, really? I can think of about 20 people right now who are down in the James practicing rafting down the rapids and whatnot, who probably say, I can do that. But where the heck do they go try out? I remember as a kid, I played badminton. Man, I used to love hitting that little cock. Again, that's a pun. I know somebody's going to laugh. And that Big Ruben over there. Shuttlecock. Thank you, dear. Thank you. That's shuttlecock. You know, across the net and whatnot. But I'm just saying, how does that make an Olympic sport? And then you look at water polo. Are you mean to tell me I went to school on a water polo scholarship? Is that the person who didn't have basketball skills but could throw the ball but couldn't swim well enough to be on the Olympics 4x4, 4x1 medley and all that? I just want to know.
That looks like that's a tough sport, though.
It does look a tough sport.
It looks like it's a very draining sport.
Because it looks like it's wrestling and basketball and pool swimming and soccer and you know, all in but where the hell did I try out at? I just want to know. Do they have local competitions? Is this like dodgeball? You know, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I mean, I just want to know. I understand volleyball. I understand track. I can understand sports like that. But who goes to school for whitewater rafting? Who goes to school for badminton? Who goes to school for water polo? Somebody tell me. Because I just want to know if I can get my kid a scholarship in that, he doing it. I'm sure it got to be a lot of money in it.
I think you got to get in that circuit.
I got to get in that circuit?
Got to get in that circuit to get the information on it. I mean, not for nothing, I haven't seen any of our people on the water polo team.
No, it's not even about our people. It's not even about our people. It's just in general. I just want to know where they at. I want to go. Hey, I'm taking my son. Hey, we're going to be the best goalie in water polo because I ain't going to do nothing but go side to side and block a ball. I can do that.
That's hard.
I don't know.
That's hard.
I don't know. I just want to know where the tryouts at. I think I can do it. That's my little.
I hope you got a pool in your backyard.
Oh, we got a pool at the neighborhood.
No, you got to put one in your backyard.
No,
because it requires practice every day.
And I had them kids be throwing balls at me, and when I'm gonna be out there.
You need to go to the sporting goods spot and get a soccer goal and mount it on the back of the pool,
right there at the
and
pool.
let him practice every day.
I'm gonna be like, which Wayne brothers did 6 cents? Remember how he was on the hockey jump? I'm gonna get that little injection, and I'm gonna be blocking everything. I ain't gonna be able to see it, but I'm gonna be blocking everything.
Oh, that was Damon.
Damon?
I think it was Damon.
It's the younger one, the youngest one.
That's Marlon.
That's Marlon. Yeah, he did 6 cents. You know how he was playing hockey and whatnot, blocking everything. Then he went blind all of a sudden. That's gonna be me. Senseless. 6 cents. Same thing different.
You know how Steppin with Marcus J. Thank you so much for listening to us tonight and listening to us every single week. I want to go through my thank yous, DJ. Renee Melendez, once again, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I want to thank Lady D of the NYPD for joining us. Once again, I always want to thank Hakeem for listening and going ahead and hitting us up. We got a lot of listeners tonight. I see y'all out there on the Facebook page. We got you in College Park, Jersey City. We got you in New York. We got you in Maryland. We got you. I see you as far away as Arizona, so we appreciate you hitting us up. I typically end my rants by saying that it had nothing to do with what we were talking about, but every once in a while, I do find myself expounding a little bit more on the topic that we talked about earlier. Tonight's one of those nights. So I'm going to briefly kind of talk a little bit about Gabby Douglas and then something else that I'm equally passionate about. Gabby, of course, we know is a young Virginian who made waves in London by becoming the first black person to win the gold in one of her events. Instead of celebrating that achievement and celebrating her perseverance and celebrating her dominance, as Big Rube alluded to earlier, at the mere age of 16, many of our people choose to focus on her hair, focus on stuff that's not relevant. So my question to those people is this. What you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? Why do some of us, not all, but some of us, black folk, always choose to attack our first in some of the most violent, vicious ways instead of first celebrating the achievements? I remember when Venus and Serena first hit the scene, folks was clowning their hair and their beads and their skin. It had bad acne or whatever it was. People was talking about them then. And even Tiger, when he first hit the scene, people was tripping off of his obvious mixed heritage. Even before he spoke and appeared to be indifferent about his blackness, people was already giving him a hard time. And even now you have a lot of folks, while in the minority, some folks still reject our president by stating that his existence is not authentically African American, but more of an Americanized African. Real talk, he's more black than any of us because he got 50% of African blood. So he's more African American than the rest of us who all mixed up with something. That's just real talk. And history tells us that even the great Martin Luther King was not so beloved by our people until after he was murdered. So said plainly, it's usually the folks who ain't doing nothing who are the first ones to attack those of us who are trying. Why do we do this? You may disagree with some of the examples that I laid out, but with careful thought, you can come up with your own examples. One theory, of course, that I can attribute to this systematic conditioning that causes some to believe that their own is inferior. Images, television, showing that beauty is in the form of long flowing hair as a way of making one believe that short, pulled back, and so-called nappy is not appearing. Showing a monkey doing gymnastics in a commercial right after the black girl won the gold is a way to slowly but surely complete this cultural conditioning. If a person in the media tells you something, you may believe it. But if another person tells you the same thing, you go running to Google to check them on their facts. Some of us in this room, and some of us listening, may call me a conspiracy theorist. That may be true. But consider how many times you heard that song that you hate, can't stand it, until you found yourself humming it in the car. You were conditioned to love it until you didn't even realize you were singing it. There's a document called the Willie Lynch letter that allegedly states how to break a slave. We can debate how authentic that letter is, but what I really want to get at is part of that document talks about constantly keeping the slaves at odds, because if they ever banded together in support, they would become dangerous. I wonder how Willie Lynch would feel if he was a real person, which I have my reservations on whether he was or not. But I wonder how he would feel if he was real, to see his words come so painfully true centuries after they were allegedly written. Lastly, as many of you know, I always seem to get in an attack on the N-word every couple of rants, and today is no different. There was a story last week about Joseph Ross, who checked into a Sharonville, Ohio Motel 6, turned on the television in his motel room, and was greeted by the graphic, "Hello N-word." Outraged, he contacted the corporate office and is following up on his complaint. So my question is this to the folks who use this word. How would you feel in a corporate environment where you're paying money and you are called this? Hopefully you would feel outraged. We are a product of what we allow, and if we allow folks to denigrate us, our enemies most certainly will do so. Enemies like Walton Henry Butler, the man who shot Everett Gant, a black man, in the face. The brother went to Mr. Butler to confront him about the use of that racial slur directed towards his family. When the police arrived to arrest Mr. Butler for shooting Mr. Gant in the face, he was quoted as saying, "I had only shot an N-word." Unbelievable. But then again, not really. Many of you know that I'm a traveling man. And recently on my travels, I heard a young 20-something black female using this word as freely as if it was her own name. And I asked her politely not to use the word around me, and her response was, "Why? What's the big deal?" And I knew she'd ask that question with complete sincerity. We have got to do better. That's the Murr. Marcus's unrelated rant that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about tonight. It's the end of the show. As I've been doing recently, I want to say a quick word on voter suppression. Jim Greer, former Florida Republican chairman, says that party officials openly discussed suppressing the black vote. It's out there. Look it up. Y'all need to do what y'all need to do, so when you go to the polls, your stuff is right. You vote for who you want to vote to, but you need to be out there voting, period. And that's real talk. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley. I'm going to say peace to the stars and the squares. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Be back next week. Peace.